Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Resident Evil 2 here on the Heavy Bass channel. Last time we fought off against the second malformation of G and essentially listened to his awesome theme. This time, we're no longer with our shirt on, no longer protecting us. Essentially, we now gotta go into the lab itself to, you know, deal with a few things. But this time, I'm just going to reorganizing our shelf, and that's really about it. We have a grenade launcher. We have stockpiled enough ammunition to basically get rid of the rest of to take care of quite a few things here. So what is this lab basically? Well, this lab is kind of infamous. It was essentially a hub in the third one. For some reason, Rebecca encountered Enrico in this lab for some inconspicuous reason, which obviously I don't know how they were able to go from the forest to that bloody place. That was a long distance. I wish they actually explained it, but I don't think they did. Anyway, the first thing we gotta do is power up the place because, you know, obviously Annette obviously depowered the plant after Birkin got shot up by Umbrella soldiers. So here, you'll find the first aid spray. Here you'll also find right here a fuse case. This bit's kind of easy. And if you're wondering why this is all frozen, well, computers run fantastically in cold temperatures. Yeah, it's actually been proven that machines run brilliantly in the cold because they could process things faster. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So here, you use the fuse case, you bring it over here. And then, since most things are frozen, which obviously they've frozen over because, you know, stuff like that, and I'm surprised the machines haven't exactly frozen on, you get the main fuse. The main fuse, we can now power up the facility, allowing us to actually explore the area, which is very important. But there's a few areas that we do need to explore, and then we'll just go ahead and do so. Which is not that bad. So, powering up this place is no problem since we got the fuse. The fuse actually makes things work fantastically. So now we use the fuse. We use this. Obviously, Annette removed that main fuse just in case whatever happens. So now we've powered up the lab. So now we just go back. Now move on to the next section, which is going to be this red section. Indeed, we're going to move on to this red section. Ultimately, what you want to do here to make things easier for Leon B, or I spoil things, technically it's the B path, is to activate the anti-BOW sprinklers. As you can see here, there's a laboratory security manual, obviously telling you what happens if there's about that one. So turn on this, and now you're going to make the monsters weaker. Here you'll find some fantastic amounts of bowgun ammo. Very useful. Also, the user registration. To do that, it's only going to do a few things, but it will make sure. So the researcher that was killed here obviously had to deal with shit like that. So, you can't go for that because IVs are here, because IVs are all over the place. Fun fact about the IV, they are remnants of Plant 42. In fact, what this lab was trying to do, to make things a lot easier, was to create a humanoid version of that bloody plant. Considering Plant 42 was a boss, and a very dumb one at that as well, so we can now go through here, which is going to make the B path a lot easier to traverse. So things you do here will make things easier for this one. And now we gotta carefully go through this one because there's no superheroes. Indeed. And they die in one hit to an acid round because of the sprinkler effect. Also, in here, 2 rounds of grenade launchers. Very useful. Very, very useful. So we can now go ahead and switch to the flame rounds. So there's there's different kinds of rounds. Of course, the plant that obviously occupies this is now my one big regret of the whole thing is that the entirety of this plant of this lab has been infested with a plant. This should have been a reference back to Plant 42. This was a coincidence you're about to see in a moment. element, then if you press the... Well, if you go back... Well, if you go west, for instance, you get a few things. So, we're going to head back west a bit. Indeed, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to head west, and I'm going to open up that shutter that's on the west side, going to make things faster. Because after all, speed is important, especially if you're trying to do this on a speed run. Or less than that, anyway. You'll find that, but unfortunately, since we can't do anything about that now, we're going to have to wait a little bit later to do something about that for much, you know, coincidental and, you know, other stuff as well. But, lo and behold, well, you got to do this. It's kind of important. So we have to head back to the western side now. So there's only two things here. What the heck happened there? Well, I'll probably find out later. Anyway, press this shutter here, and you'll get a new enemy type. These are Ivies. These are humanoid forms of Plant 42. And they die, and of course they're very susceptible to fire. Claire has an easier time killing them in her path than Leon does. Leon needs to find a flamethrower to kill them. Because, you know, susceptible to flames and all that stuff. But anyway, we have some herbs to take. And if you do kill them, they do technically sort of like be a dick. So let's get back to the more important ammunition, which is acid rounds. These are going to be the acid rounds that are probably going to kill the super lickers. Unfortunately, Leon really doesn't have an ammunition that has a little bit of an oomph. Apart from having custom shotgun shells, which do technically work, but you're just gonna have a tougher time. So we're literally now in the next part of the labs, and if we go down here, as it were, go a bit slowly, you'll find that a licker decides to jump. But since he dies instantaneously, a lot of things die instantaneously to the super. And we got one more licker here. Super licker. Excuse me. I don't want to waste any more rounds as I have to, but holy shit. Again, just like to point out, aiming's a little bit bullshit in this game. I really do not like it. So I gotta combine this lot together. Then take this here. Use it up, obviously, because otherwise, you know, it's gonna be a long while before we do that. And more or less, well, there's a lot of things that we're not done yet. Okay. So that's that sorted. Is that one, and now we're moving on to another. We're now moving on to the. To another safe zone in the lab. This is where the map is. If you go click here, you'll find the laboratory map. Essentially, we don't have an ink ribbon. I don't want to have any use for the ink ribbon yet, but we do have some more stuff. I gotta combine some ammunition because, you know, at this point you realize we have a lot of healing items. Good thing we do, actually. Yeah, we have a lot of first aid sprays, which we're not going to use because I'm kind of picky on that one. I'm going to take that. Not going to take any chances whatsoever. The lighter is officially done. At this point, we no longer need it. But we're going to be taking at least a couple of healing items, and we're going to take a save function here. So, at this point, we have literally did most of the laboratory. We already done most of the lab at this point, which is true. But we're going to moving on to circumstantial, you know, stuff. We're also going to need the weapon box key. We're also going to need to combine that herb function, and then we're now going to do some healing. So, next time on Resident Evil 2, we are going to now finally go ahead and start initiating getting the cure for Sherry's G virus. Otherwise, we don't even know what a G Sherry form would look like, but at this point in time, I don't want to deal with a kid. No, thank you. See you guys next time.